Hello. Hi, beautiful people. Sarah Mason here, the founder of Beyond NLP Coaching, your one-stop place to break free from those old patterns, move rapidly through those challenges, and really expand your growth even more. Today, I'm going to show you how to use tapping as an NLP anchor, a powerful way to interrupt cravings, negative thoughts, emotional loops, and retrain your brain to respond differently. It's something that I use quite often, especially with clients that have addictions, people that feel somatically the body is holding on to so much emotion. So it's quite a great technique and a tool to not only use for yourself, but if you're a practitioner or therapist, it's a great thing to deliver to your clients, right? So, in simple terms, the NLP anchor technique and the strategy that I'm going to use is teaching. We're training your nervous system a new shortcut from stress or the urge to calm and control. So, using a bit of touch, a bit of breathing, and something called focus, something that we're always distracted from doing. And when we deter from focusing on what we do want, we tend to fall into those old habits, those behaviors, those routines of things that are disturbing our life and aren't really bringing us towards what we really do want, right? So I want you for a moment just to think about a craving, an urge, or emotional rush, like pretty much a wave, right? It rises quickly, it feels quite intense, and then naturally it fades if you don't chase it, right? So your job isn't to fight the wave. It isn't to swim against the current. It's just to stay steady. And I know it sounds harder than what you might perceive, right? And it sounds quite, oh my God, Sarah, it's easier said than done. And I get that, right? But only if you just stay steady and breathe until it passes through, right? Tapping, on the other hand, which you'll find from my other videos, helps you surf the wave instead of being pulled under it and withdrawn from what you want to work towards. So now you're not drowning in the behavior, in the addiction, in the habit, in the stress, in the need of, the craving or whatever it is, right? When you experience that urge, craving, or emotional wave, the body naturally releases a surge of stress chemicals, right? All these little things come out of your brain and just send the surge everywhere. And pretty much what's happening is your body's now pulling you toward that habit, that behavior, and whatever response that you were playing with, right? I like to personally think of craving or urge or emotional surge as a wave, right? Waves. Do they come and stay? Or does a wave come and it exits? It goes, it hits the shore. And even then, when it washes above onto the shore, what does it do? It retracts and goes back into the ocean, right? So it's not even there for so long and forever. It doesn't sit there. It just comes through and it leaves. Similar to an urge, a reaction, a response, a natural ability to go towards a habit or whatever it is. It builds up fast, just like a wave. It builds up fast from the center of the ocean, right? It peaks and then it fades away, right? As long as you don't chase it or fight it. Because think about it like a wave. If a wave comes to the ocean shore and you know that it comes from the center, it hits the edges and then it releases. But if you don't chase it, it is what it is. It goes back in time and it does its thing and it rotates, stimulates, and then gives you a new one. But if you decide to chase and you're going into the ocean, it pulls you in. Have you ever stood in the water, which I'm not a fan of water. I don't know how to swim for everyone out there, okay? I've managed to teach my kids this because I feared water. So when you're standing in the ocean, if you had this experience, and I have, and the wave comes in and it's quite heavy, it's rich in power, and it pushes you subliminally to the other edge. And if you stand there and you wobble your feet and you're not standing sturdy, what happens? You get pulled in. You get pulled into that wave and you go further out into the ocean. Now, when you stand up, by the time you realize how further in you've gone, what happens? Another wave crushes not only the shore, but you in the direction of the shore because you're in the way. And then it pulls you out deeper. And that's how some people can actually drown. Now, consider that for a moment. That's how you can drown in your habits, your behaviors, your urges when you delve into them, when you're chasing the wave. Well, you're only allowing yourself to anchor and go deeper and deeper and deeper into a response that most likely isn't really serving you, right? That's probably why you're watching this, or you're watching this just to learn something for one of your clients and how to serve them better, right? So, as a concept, you don't fight or chase the wave. Just your job is, it's not to stop the wave, it's to ride it. Have you seen the surfers out there? It'd be nice to know how to do that. It's not something on my agenda, but it'll be nice to do. But have you seen that? Do they go against the current, or do they go behind the current and then they ride the current? They ride the wave, right? That's exactly what tapping, so emotional freedom technique, the EFT that I've explained multiple times, which I'm going to go through step by step again, specifically for this strategy, helps you do. You stay balanced, you're on board until the water calms down again. And guess what? There is no wave to ride. There is no point to be a surfer in that moment until what? Until another wave comes. And when it comes, what do? Go behind it, on top of it, through it, and then you exit until it's gone, until you find another one, another one, another one, another one, until your body's exhausted and come out of the water if you're a surfer. I don't know what they experience, but I'm just having a presumption here. Now imagine that inside your head. You get one, like a client comes in and says, Sarah, okay, great, the tapping went through, I released it, all good and great, but it happens again. What do I do? Well, what does a surfer do when the next wave arrives? They ride the wave again. And then what do they do when the third wave comes? They ride the wave again. And they do it enough times until they build the strategy and tool to not fall off their board. And now they can ride the wave sitting, standing, whatever, because they've been trained, their mind, their body. They've got that coherence that now the wave doesn't push them. They pull and push and just surrender to it, right? And so when my client turns around and says, well, what do I do when it happens again? Guess what? You redo it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And I cannot stress it enough. The amount of times you do this is the amount of time it builds the momentum to go into an autopilot. Like you brush your teeth. I say this all the time. Who trained you to brush your teeth? Your parents, your caregiver, your family member, wherever you were raised, right? And now when you get up, I'm hoping that you do brush your teeth, please. But on a serious note, but when you get up, do you have it written in your diary, or do you get up and you just brush your teeth because you don't need to give it much thought? Do you consider how much toothpaste you put, or it's an automatic response? It's the same with this technique. When your client comes back to you, or you're someone that's listening to learn this yourself, and think about, okay, Sarah, but then what happens if it happens again? You brush your teeth a little bit more. Maybe there's a bit more plaque that needs to be pulled out. Maybe there's a little bit more density of food stuck in between your teeth, hence why your gums are aching and throbbing, right? So you just do it a bit more and a bit more until it dissolves, until you don't think about it. It becomes automatic, until a new habit, behavior, or urge of a binge or whatever it might be comes through, and you don't even think about the strategy because naturally you'll be working with it, which I'm about to explain. There's the good news part of this, right? Science shows that this chemical rush that you experience naturally fades after 90 seconds if you don't feed it with more habits, more action, or respond to it. 90 seconds. Did you hear what I said? It is 90 seconds. When you realistically think about it, it is not much. That's 1.5 minutes. 90 seconds. But when you're in the 90 seconds, on the other hand, it might feel like 90 hours, minutes, years, days. I don't know. But I know it is realistically 90 seconds. Can you or can you not handle the wave for 90 seconds? So here we go. What you need to do is set the goal. It's very simple, right? When the wave hits, so the urge, the habit, the behavior, the addiction, you'll use tapping as your anchor, right? An NLP technique is the anchoring, and tapping is a strategy that I like to combine as one. You stay present, you breathe, You take and you allow the 90 seconds, ready, to pass. And the craving or emotion attached to that softens on its own, all naturally. It's a natural response, okay? So there is step one to this, the first step. Choose your state, right? This is the most important part out of the whole strategy. Choose your state that you want to be in. Think of one feeling you'd love to access quickly, rapidly. Calm, confident, clear, grounded, strong, I don't know, fulfillment, contentment, something. Okay? Choose a state that you would prefer to be in as opposed to the calling to swim against the current, which is actually crushing you into the shore, right? The problem that we want to get rid of, right? So think of something, but for today's sake, I'm going to choose something and I'm going to use calm and clear, right? So step one, choose your state. All good? Step two, choose your tap point. Now, does it matter? No, it works the same. Why? I don't know. Who cares? But it does it, right? That's all that matters. It works. Most likely is because you're tapping on a meridian in the body. If you haven't watched any other EFT tapping techniques on any other video, mine or someone else's, it's pretty simple. I prefer is the chest. I prefer to do the TFT of tapping, which is the original form, with my fist because I feel like it hits home for me, right? Some people prefer to just that simple, nice, if they've got a lot of inflammation in their body, they use this more gentle approach, right? You can use your hand and your wrist. Opposite wrist, the one wrist, two wrists, doesn't matter because we want to anchor, so we want to use one place. You got the karate chop, the meaty fleshy part of your hand, one hand, two hands, doesn't really matter. We just want to anchor it. That's all we're doing. You got the top of your head, on top of your lips, up below your mouth, on your chin. There's multiple places. Doesn't really matter. Under your arms. If you want to do it on your knees like this, go for it. Okay? Just choose one spot you'll always use. Just consider if you usually get urges while you're driving or you get frustrated, make sure it's something that you can actually access during that time, okay? Whatever it is, whatever you choose to using two fingers, right? Some people prefer, okay, I don't want to do physical tapping. I want to anchor just my fingers like this. This is similar to something called the silver method, right? So just getting your fingers and putting pressure on it. Usually I have anchored that to quite deep meditation for myself, all right? So you can take the two fingers, press them together, make sure it's unique, it's easy to reach anywhere in your body, and it's sustainable, okay? This will become your physical anchor, right? So first is the state. Secondly, it's your physical anchor. Now, your third step is evoke the state, meaning we're going to do this together now. Everyone that is watching, take a deep breath in and close your eyes. If that feels comfortable, remember a time you felt completely calm and clear. We're working on calm and clear here. Whatever you've chosen for yourself, please work on that. Whatever thing that the client wants, if you're working with a client, make it work, right? Be very flexible with that. But for this sake, I want you just, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes. Remember a time you felt completely calm and clear. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. Feel what you felt, right? Let and allow that sensation to spread throughout your chest, throughout your belly, throughout your mind, throughout your cells, throughout your bones, your blood, your organs, everywhere. Just allow that to flood you immensely. And when you do, and you feel that, and you're peaking in that state, step 4, link the anchor. As that feeling grows stronger within you, okay, I want you to begin gently tapping on your chosen point, about 2 taps per second, and repeat your phrase out loud. Calm and clear, calm and clear. Keep tapping while breathing slowly out. Calm and clear. Calm and clear. When that calm feeling peaks, stop tapping, and open up your eyes. Right? Now, that wasn't too bad, right? It was quite easy. Step 5, you want to stack. Stacking means we want to repeat it enough times until we collapse it, right? It's like collapsing anchors in NLP. You do that again and again, 2 or 3, even 7 times to evoke the calm and clear. Tap while saying the words, breathe out, then stop. Each round will naturally strengthen the link between your touch and that calm state. So we're anchoring and we're stacking, right? Then once you do that enough times, we want to test. We want to see how is this working, right? So step 6 would be, let's test the anchor. Now tap and say your phrase again. Calm and clear. Calm and clear. So we're not going into a state, we're testing now, right? Notice how quickly your body shifts back into that calm and clear feeling. That's your anchor. It's wired in. You've just you've pushed it into your body. You've integrated it. The testing is to make sure it's there. If you don't feel it kinesthetically strong enough, all you have to do is remember what I said. Do it again and again and again. Find another state that you had that experience where you felt, confident, loving, caring, able, fluent, whatever it is, and then anchor it in and anchor it in, right? That's all we're doing. We want to anchor and stack, anchor and stack. Now, step 7, okay? This anchor that you've just created, you're going to use during your 90 seconds, right? So this is the part where you're going to start playing with this model. When you notice an urge, your anxious thought, your imposter syndrome, overthinking or living inside your head, or the negative habit that's been triggered by something, a smell, a response, a friend, whoever it is, remember, the body's chemical rush only lasts 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. It's nothing. So the moment you feel it, tap your anchor and repeat your phrase. Calm, 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 and clear, right? That's all you want to do. You want to repeat your phrase, whatever phrase that you've created for yourself. You want to breathe slowly, stay still, and ride that wave. By the time you reach that 90 seconds, the craving or the thought will start to naturally fade and you will already be in control, right? It's so simple, yet it's so incredible. It works brilliantly. I call this step, to be honest with my clients, is notice. So you want to be aware, right? Notice, tap, breathe, and choose. Because you've always got a choice. You've got a choice to watch this video, to apply this technique. You've got a choice to choose, yeah, this is not for me, it doesn't work. You've got a choice to say, no, it does work, and it's a belief, but you become aware first. You tap at it, you build your anchor, you breathe through it, and you choose. You choose the calm and clear and control over anything, over the habit, the behavior, and whatever it is, the thought that was holding you back. You notice that feeling. You tap your anchor. You breathe through it. Then choose your next best action. I want to reach out for an apple. I want to go for a walk. I want to watch a movie. Whatever it is, right? Tapping is an NLP anchor. So tapping as an NLP anchor works because you're combining the body, the breathing, the brain, rewiring how your nervous system responds under stress. Use it for cravings, the anxiety, procrastination, emotional eating, or any old loop you're ready to release. You're ready to let it go. It doesn't serve me anymore. I don't want it anymore. And you're ready to just, hey, be free from it and allow it to be free from you, right? So I want you to remember something. Every time you tap and anchor calm, you're planting a new seed. And I love this metaphor, okay? I love gardening, right? The more you water it with practice, the less room those old weeds of worry and habit have to grow. Think about it. If you had a garden and you saw one weed, and it's this itsy-wincy little small weed, and you picked it immediately, problem solved. But if you left it for a week and 2 weeks and then come to pick it, it's freaking so big. It gets bigger than your normal plants. I know this. Ask me because I love gardening, right? And then when you come to pick it, you got to wear now gloves. You need safety gear because this thing has spikes and it hurts. It's like you got a cactus tree outside. You never know how it came out. And the thing is so stubborn that you're pulling and pulling. So the good thing about this, the more you water this with practice, the less room those old weeds of worry and habit have to grow. And you're always plucking out those new weeds immediately. And then guess what? Time after time, the weeds get sick of you. They don't even want to grow in your garden anymore because they know you're going to pull them out. And guess what? If they want to grow and there's a shitload of them, you'll find them so immediately and you just pluck them and pick them out because your hands are so used to doing it, right? I'd like you just, if you've taken something away, to really like, to comment, to subscribe, and share this because your voice might help someone else to feel less alone. And before you go, take one thing from this video into your day today. Apply it from my heart to yours as always.